Hello everyone, I wanted to share with you today a deep concept, simple but deep, the idea of darkness, Tzimtzum. And I will put after that on the comment a link or in the post on the idea that sometimes light actually is still on when things are dark, meaning that the darkness really is light. Which is the concept of today, the idea that really even when things seems terrible and dark, really it's light. When things looks already, let's remember in the terms of Kabbalah, darkness and black always signifies evil or represents evil, and light and day represents holiness and purity. However, this challenge is that we don't always look at it that way, and not that we don't look at it that way. Actually, it's a mistake. We only look at it that way. That's the problem. Darkness sometimes is light and light sometimes is darkness. But the main key today that we try to explain is that darkness really is always light. It's just a different type of light. So originally God created the world, it was all white. And then God made a vacuum and it became dark. If you think about it, it's interesting because it's a power button, right? The power button. And the idea is we need to turn power back into the world. Now, before and after is really exactly the same. But now, the world, universe, looks like there's no more white. The truth is, like you're going to see in the scientific video, this is all white. It's just as if you had sunglasses and couldn't see part of the white. And the idea is that what is really dark? Dark is your mind. Your mind is dark. Your perception of the world is dark. Like in the video, it's all a matter of perception. But our mind looks at with physical eyes. If we had the spiritual eyes, you'll see light everywhere, energy everywhere, because really everything is energy. Even in science, when people thought that the dark part of the space is empty, they realized that actually it's not empty, it's moving, it's actually thinking. It's called dark matter, dark energy. So dark energy is energy, there's something controlling it. So there is really light behind it, there is a system. So there's nothing, okay, it's completely vacuum, empty space, so to speak. Everything is filled with energy. So when we understand that our goal in life, and that's the purpose of creation, is to remove little by little the layers of our perspective of the world. And that's the famous quotation from Nahum Ish Gamzu, from the Gemara, that says, Gamzu letova, this is also good. Meaning that it's not that this is something bad and dark and it's going to become good, the way Rabbi Akiva, his students, was saying, which is a lower level. Or it's bad, but eventually you're going to see something good is going to come of it. No. That's true. But the highest level, which very few people can live on, is that this is good. Oh, I heard myself. Wow, that's good. On the perspective level, it's not good, but on a deeper level, if you see the future, then you know it's good, because you know God doesn't let us hurt ourselves for no reason, unless you're clumsy and you do it on purpose. You're not paying you're not paying attention to your own free choice, and so you're responsible for yourself. But we're saying in something you're not so in control. The basic idea here of a man walking, there's 4 levels, 4 layers, and we're trying to cross the layers and be able to see through the layers. Because God is behind those layers. There's a Baal Shem Tov explanation that the whole world is an optical illusion. And we have an illusion, we think there are walls, and we think that it's solid, and we think, according to science, everything is empty. You could technically put your head through the wall. But because of your perspective and the way you look at it as a human being, you can't see it. If you take a microscope, look through the wall, it will be empty. So again, everything is energy, transform energy, and we have to learn how to perceive the right way. So whenever you have a difficult time and you see like bad or evil or pain or suffering, you have to always, we can't say we have to be human beings. When someone dies, we have to mourn 7 days. So we have, as a human being, to be respectful that there is, there is such a thing as darkness, at least on a outer perspective level, and that this darkness needs to be fixed. So there is something sad about it. There's a process. But once we understand that process, technically, when someone dies, we should be very happy. We should singing of joy. You're going back to where you're supposed to be. That's where we're, or not where you're supposed to be, but that's the next stage, to go to the next level, because you're going to be reborn again or be ready for Olam Haba, which is a rebirth, Tchias HaMesim. So we have to look at our challenges with respect, with emotional respect, and so that we don't hurt ourselves too much emotionally or other people. But very quickly we have to understand, I'm looking at it, what I'm experiencing is the dark matter, but that dark matter is really white. That darkness is really white. So it's a simple concept, but it's really very deep. It's the purpose of creation. You were born playing peekaboo. That's the first game you ever had. People playing peekaboo with the children, and you love it. The kids, 90% of the kids love it, because this is part of the world. Secrets, Kabbalah. Why we're so excited about Kabbalah? Because the soul is designed to reveal the light, the secrets, go out of the darkness. Adam is hiding behind the tree. He has to stop hiding, hide and seek with God. The next game after peekaboo is hide and seek, because our whole life is a hide and seek with ourselves, with our soul, with God. We're here to find out the secrets. That's why this is the purpose of creation, is to learn Kabbalah, to reveal the Etz HaChaim, to learn from the Torah, and find out all the secrets about it. And we are here to reveal the light that is here, but it's really hidden. So my blessing to you and to us all is to be able to constantly be aware that there's no such a thing as darkness, or whatever darkness you perceive is temporary. It is not really truly bad, no matter how difficult and painful it can be. And again, I cannot explain something like the Holocaust. I cannot say the Holocaust is good. I'm not on the level, and I have no right to say something like that. It is terrible darkness. Hiding very, very, very deep behind that darkness, there is something. There's a seed of something that leads, that has some truly a root of good, but it's impossible for us to understand it yet. Impossible. If you enter into the world of Kabbalah, you can see how certain of things are possible and why they are so sometimes appear so terrible. Dark energy, dark matter. It seems empty, but there is something controlling. There is a system. Every test that we have is a test of light. Even sometimes it was dark, but it's really light. It's to go towards the light. So may we be all able to look at our events, all our challenges and tests really as light. Understand there is a purpose, there's a reason, there's a goal, and it's intrinsically good. Eventually, we're gonna succeed if we understand that there is some goodness behind it, even though we don't necessarily recognize it right away. So may we all be able to turn on the power button, and I have to obviously say that because that's always for me it's one of my favorite insights is that the Tzimtzum, what is dark? The only dark thing in this world is our little consciousness. It's our consciousness. This is the consciousness of humanity. Each one of us is like a pixel on that thing. All those are billions of pixels, and each one of us is one pixel and has as something good in that pixel. We have to change our way how we look at the world and turn our dark pixel, our consciousness of the world that we think there's no God and everything is physical, to real light, and realize that no, it is all light, it's just my consciousness. And when I turn my consciousness on and I realize that it's all good, it's all energy, it's all God, that God fills the world, the light of all the Sphirot is all here, and then I turn on the power button, and I have one little white dot happening there. When we all, as a conscious community, turn all that, our minds on, then this whole power button becomes white, and we go back to the beginning with Hashem, when we were all one, when everything was light. Like you see in the scientific video, darkness, it's only a hiding of God, right? It's still white. God is still here, but God is hiding himself. God is hiding himself in our consciousness. We have to realize that our consciousness is really made out of light, and it's really light, and to be aware that our consciousness brings for our subconscious different things. We have to connect to the root to remember that really this light, if we put it, you take the phone that he shows in the video, before he knows it's light, but it needs to have a stronger light to show the other light. So everything is light, but it's different grades, different shades of light. We could say the 50 shades of light. There was 50 gates of understanding, and that's why Moshe Rabbeinu achieved the 50th level, and Mount Sinai was the 50th day, because it takes 50 levels to go out of impurity of the darkened light. That's really what it should be called, the darkened light. But there's still light. So darkness is not no light, is dimmed light. Is right. So dim light. We'll keep it with that word. All right. Have a wonderful time, and may all our darkness become light, and let us bring the final redemption very quickly. Shabbat shalom.